Just walked into the studio. Quite a few of you will know who this person is, and don't need really to introduce him too much, but for the younger fans, we are going to present one of our all-time legend players. In fact, he made 663 appearances, 96 first-class goals. He played under Ron Atkinson. He was in the FA Trophy final at the old Wembley Stadium, the one that lost to Stafford Rangers. He played in one of the most successful Poppies teams of all time, played with some wonderful players, and then went on to manage, I bring you, the one and only Roger Ashby. Welcome, Roger, to Poppies TV.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, it's been a little while since we've had a chat about football, I think.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
A lot of the younger fans probably won't know who you are, but a lot of the older fans definitely will. I know there's been a few people on Twitter recently asking about the older players, and I said that you'd be on today. But obviously, 663 games, you've got some fantastic memories. Ron Atkinson, the FA Trophy final, some fantastic games with the Clayton and Suddart, etc. What are your best memories of Kettering Town as a player?
The best memory, obviously, as a non-league player, I would say playing at Wembley in 1979, the FA Trophy final, you know, which is something you just dream about as a footballer, and certainly a non-league footballer as well. And you know, was a fantastic experience apart from the result. But yeah, that's one of many. Obviously, when you play the number of games that I played for Kettering, like
1965, the first game.
Yeah. I mean, it's going back some time actually. I was only 17 when I came here, and you know, when I left here, you know, it was really difficult, and you know, yeah, we had some fantastic times, some fantastic memories, obviously, and some very, very good players as well.
Well, let's talk about Ron Atkinson. You know, he's a legend in his own lifetime, isn't he? Really, Ron Atkinson. You played under him when he first started out at Kettering. We know he went on to Manchester United and various other clubs after that, Aston Villa, and was a great manager. He must have been fantastic playing under him. Yeah,
he was different class, to be honest. I mean, he took over from Steve Gammon, who was manager when I first came to Kettering as a 17-year-old, and you know, Ron came, I believe it was in the early 70s, and what a transformation. You know, the man was different class, and if you would have asked me after 6 months that he'd end up playing, you know, certainly in the top leagues in the world, I would have said yeah, because he was that good, and he was a fantastic manager, fantastic character. You had to do, as he put it, the way I want you to play, and if you didn't, he soon let you know. But
teacups,
yeah.
Was it? And
absolutely, yeah. But I mean, he was fantastic, you know, and you know, terrific memories. And you know, funnily enough, actually, when you know we played at Wembley in 1979, he actually came in the dressing room prior to the game, you know, and you know, which was fantastic. Really, didn't help us to get a result, like, but yeah, it was terrific, like, yeah.
Just at one season in the conference, well, in those days at the Alliance Premier League, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But most of your games were in the Southern League, and in those days, of course, we did win the league twice, or the Southern League Premier once, didn't we? And in those days, it was the voting. It must have been very frustrating to win a league and then be outvoted by the old codgers at the FA.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you had to get sort of the backers actually to get, you know, to get into the league, instead of being, you know, such a good football team.
Is that where FIFA learnt it from, you think, then?
Well, I don't know about that. But, yeah, it's a strange one, really. But obviously, it will change now, and as time gone on, obviously, if you win leagues now, you do get promoted. You know, and,
both Kettering and Yeovil were very close, weren't they, one season to get in the Football League.
Yeah.
It's always seemed that Hartlepool United were bottom of Division 4 in those days,
right,
and they always scraped back in with Workington. But must have been a sad day, the day that you left Kettering Town in 1980 after that first season in the Alliance Premier.
Yeah, it was really. I mean, Colin Clark was manager then, and that was his first managerial position. Like, he played a lot of football at Oxford United, but that was his first managerial job. I think Big Ron had recommended him, playing with him at Oxford, etc. And he came, yeah. And I never particularly enjoyed playing under him, like. And you know, at the end of the season, you know, I sort of said, I think it's time for me to go, and I ended up sort of going into management.
That was at Earthly Borough Diamonds, I think.
Yes, it was, yeah.
Then he went on to I think Rushden Town, Wolverton.
Quite a lot.
Yeah. One team we won't mention too much, but Bedford, Nuneaton, Brackley, and the other team we won't mention too much, whose ground now has been knocked down, by the way.
Oh, so no more, yeah.
But then you had an assistant manager spell with Marcus his first time, but never held the reins at Kettering. Was that a frustrating time as well? Never been able to get a grasp of the team that you loved?
Yeah, I suppose it was a club, like you say, I loved, and I did want to be manager here. that was my
Did the
ambition.
opportunity
Really,
ever happen?
no, not at all. No, I've been an assistant here, obviously with Marcus when Marcus was here, and I enjoyed it with him. And you know, Morel Mason, right? If you remember those days, you know, when they first went to Nen Park, and you know, which you know, I ended up sort of going there with Nicky Eden, right? Who was an ex-fullback for Kettering as well, and it was an absolute nightmare, to be perfectly honest. And you know, Morel wasn't the best organiser, and I can always remember actually one of the early games when we went there. He was doing his team talk, like, and 3 of the players were still on the pitch, and that was difficult, like. But yeah, I mean, it didn't matter too much.
Must be quite soul destroying in many respects, Roger, being such a stalwart with the club, seeing the club go through the good times, to see what's happened to the club, and now we're sort of fighting our way back up the leagues. You're still involved, aren't you, behind the scenes? Absolutely,
yeah. I've always loved this club, and you know, I always support it. You know, now, you know, I come with Bob Miller, who's a legend supporter, and well,
the supporters can be named at a fair price.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, he's you know, I've picked him up today. Whenever I come, I always pick him up. You know, and I'm with him quite a lot, and he's so passionate about the club, and so am I. You know, and like today, you know, my son Nick, who also played for Kettering as well.
Scored against Dover, a long-range free kick, his only goal for the club.
Yeah, I was going to say, he didn't score as many as me, I know that. I remember that.
95 less, I think.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. But yeah, I mean, you know, I go with Nick, he does the scouting for Burnley with Sean Dyche, who's another Kettering man, right? Yeah. And yeah, so I go with him quite a lot, and if I don't, I always come here.
You've seen the games this season, well, the home games this season.
Yes.
It does seem a better sort of team, doesn't it, throughout?
Yeah, I think, you know, Marcus has made, you know, the right moves, really, you know, because he needed to, you know, be close on getting in that top bracket, and he missed out last year, and I think he realised that, you know, he needed strengthening, and the lads what have come in so far, you know, have shown good form, and you know, a little bit better quality.
You've seen a lot of non-league games, obviously, both as manager and player. We've got a difficult game against St Neots. They've only got 2 points. They'll be wanting to put one over the Poppies. They came here last season, drew 2-2 after being 2-0 up. It's going to be a difficult game.
Well, yeah. I mean, every game's difficult. It's as easy as you make it. And you know, hopefully, you know, after the good win on Saturday, you know, today is another big game. And the more games you win, I think, at the start of the season, like, it puts you in, you know, the position where you want to be. And you know, and I'm certain, you know, Marcus is a good manager, believe me, and a very good coach, and you know, and I think he's made the right, you know, improvements to the squad, you know, which is important.
There's definitely a camaraderie out there and a bond between the players. You can see it in them this season.
Yeah.
Something that was sadly lacking last season, and so far so good.
Yeah, I mean, I watched them, you know, quite often last year. You know, they didn't quite make it really, and but he's made the decisions like to get better players in the club, and the more wins you get, the more supporters you'll get, and the more money will be raised. So at the end of the day, I think you know, it's potentially, you know, a massive club, Kettering, right? You know, and I can remember when I played, you know, we used to get 2,500, 3,000, 4,000, played in the FA Cup, get 9,000, you know, and those days, obviously, a long way away, you know, but why not and come back again? And there's still a lot of young support here. Right, they probably wouldn't even know me, but the dads probably will, the granddads would do. But you know, I think it's nice, you know, that you can encourage people to come here and support the football club, and you know, the more wins you get, you know, hopefully
success breeds success, doesn't it?
Absolutely, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, Roger, thank you very much for your time. Go
My
back
pleasure.
out there in that glorious sunshine and cheer on the lads. Roger Ashby, everybody. Poppy's a legend, and not many people, if anybody's going to beat your records. Brett's knocking at the door, but he won't beat it, I don't think. But he could have done.
Who knows?
He could have done, couldn't he?
It'd be nice. It'd be nice.
Yeah.
Well, he went to Brackley,
didn't he?
For a week,
Corby, didn't he?
Yeah, and Corby as well. So yeah, but I mean, he's very consistent, a bit like myself. You know, he's consistent, and he loves the club. You know, and he wants to play for the club. But hopefully he won't beat my record.
Thank you, Roger. Great to have you on,
Pleasure.
and have an enjoyable afternoon with the Poppies once again.
Thank you.